or we're going out and doing things, right? Together, forgetting these kids, right? It's an amazing day. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, my name is Andrea. And on this channel, we talk about all things related to lifestyle, living and learning for the woman over 50. And if that's something that you're interested in, stay tuned. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about my reflections from the month of October. And generally every month, I review the month in some specific categories and I share them here with you, as well as a nice review and reminder of all the things that I did for the month previous. So here we go. So if you're new here, I break down each month in the area of categories, right? Some of my favorites specifically. And so we're going to jump into what was my favorite movie of the month, or a movie that I saw that was compelling to me or that I liked. If you follow me a lot, you know that I'm generally not a movie watcher, but I have been increasing my movie watching over the past several months. And so for the month of October, the one that sticks out to me is the movie called Temptation by Tyler Perry. Now, this is not a new movie. However, it's a good movie. And actually the premise is a young couple, they get married, they're sort of from the country, they get married at a very relatively young age. And as the woman has, she's become a therapist and she has met I believe a billionaire, and generally ends up falling for the billionaire guy, and how it disrupts their life as a couple. Very, very good storyline, very good actors, the acting as well. And maybe let me read a little about the movie of Temptation. Okay, so here's the synopsis of the movie Temptation. Judith, who is played by Jurnee Smollett-Bell, has known her husband Bryce, and the actor is Lance Gross, since they were in high school, but now their marriage is growing stale. Having just completed her graduate work in psychotherapy, she's eager to begin a career as a marriage counselor. She takes an internship at a matchmaking firm for millionaires and meets Harley, who's played by Robbie Jones, a charismatic client who makes no effort to hide his attraction to Judith. Judith succumbs to his charms, placing her marriage in jeopardy. Very, very good movie. Check it out for yourself. I believe it was on Netflix, I think, or one of the, Netflix, Hulu. Just do a search, you'll find it. But that was my movie of the month. So now let's talk about shows. So I had the opportunity at the beginning of October to get out to another comedy show and see Cheryl Underwood at our local comedy club called The Funny Bone. She was super funny. She had two gentlemen who opened up for her. I'm sorry, I do not remember the names. I am so sorry. And I don't even know where to start to find it. But she had two gentlemen who opened up for her, and they were really good. I believe one gentleman was a comedian from DC area, and another young guy. But her comedy was good. Now, let me say this. I've never really watched Cheryl Underwood, seen any of her comedy shows online or on television or anything. And so I was very pleased at her style, how different she is from talk television shows. And we had a really, really great time. And so one of the shows that I was able to actually go out and enjoy was seeing Cheryl Underwood at the comedy club here in Richmond, Virginia, called The Funny Bone.
Oh, this fucker don't take no mess. Pop it up, pop it up, pop it up. Oh, yeah. I love you. You having a good time. Hey, we should have got our way Okay, we got 1 or 2. What you got? That's right.
So next, in terms of shows, shows can also mean something that I've watched or have been binge watching. And so if you've been following me for any time, you know that I've been watching Love is Blind. And so Love is Blind season 7 has been a doozy. And I will tell you this, that I'm gonna do a separate video on Love is Blind, so I don't want to spend a lot of time here on that. However, after watching season 7 of Love is Blind, and I've probably watched 3 or 4 seasons, I'm no longer watching this show. I am no longer watching this show and all of its entertainment. I agree with the premise of the show. I do believe that meeting someone and not seeing them and allowing yourselves to be attracted to the inside of the person, I think that's a very good concept that this show sort of promotes. But the speed of the nuptial agreement, if you will, a week of vacation or honeymoon, and then 2 weeks living together, and then at the altar, I don't particularly agree with. But I think that if there was more of a dating space or relationship phase, that some of those couples could be successful. However, season 7, Love is Blind, watch that, finished up in the month of October. And let me tell you, I'm not watching that show again. Stay tuned. At some point, I will do a Love is Blind season 7 review and talk about why I will no longer watch that show. Now, in the month of October, I started binge watching Power Book 2, Ghost. So Ghost, the series of Ghost. So if you're a Power fan, if you've ever watched Power, I believe it's on Hulu app or Stars, then you'll know that this series is about Ghost's son in the show of Power. I'm not good at this, okay? However, I am enjoying it. It is all drug lord, urban, all the things, and I'm just enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it. So that's what I'm watching. I started in October, and I'm continuing to binge watch Ghost, and I believe I am on season 3. So stay tuned for more of that explanation or discussion about that when I finish the series. So for the month of October, my live show was Seeing Cheryl Underwood, and the 2 shows that I've sort of binge watched have been Love is Blind and Power Book 2, Ghost. So let's move on to food and drink. And if you follow me, I don't know if I've said it here before, but I don't drink alcohol, and haven't drank alcohol probably since like 1992. And so, by choice, nothing crazy, just totally by choice, right? But I will have like virgin daiquiris and things of that nature when I go out from time to time. So I will say I went out on a date, and I went to a Mexican restaurant who actually had virgin margaritas. So maybe for those of you who drink, that's common, but a lot of places generally don't have that. They have, of course, the virgin daiquiris, pina coladas, and things like that, but not the virgin margarita. And so I had a virgin margarita that was really, really good. And I'm telling you, they duped it so that it tasted like a margarita. Now, back in the day, college days, military days, but it was good. It was good. And no, it wasn't any alcohol in it, because I would have known. I haven't had alcohol in decades, so I definitely would know if it had alcohol in it. But so yeah, I had a frozen margarita. So that was the drink of the month, if you will. Frozen margarita, virgin frozen margarita. Okay. The second thing is for food and drink. I went to a restaurant here in Richmond. It was a new restaurant called Lily Pearl. So let me read you about the restaurant of Lily Pearl, and then I'll tell you what I had. Lily Pearl is a place for celebration of food, spirits, friends, and family. We pride ourselves on impeccable service, gracious hospitality, memorable guest experiences, and delicious food. The food starts with homage to owner Chef Michael Lindsay's grandmother, Lily Pearl, and Hattie. Chef Mike takes West African heirloom ingredients and his North Carolina roots of Southern African American cuisine through his culinary journey of global influences. Mixing traditional recipes with modern execution creates an inventive take on new American cuisine. And so this owner actually is a friend of mine. They grew up together. And so we have been sort of visiting his various restaurants in the Richmond area. I, as a vegetarian, had, what was it, like a smoked cauliflower, I think it was, and macaroni and cheese and collard greens, which was super flavorful, super cheesy. It was great. And I believe my date had some sort of shrimp mixture. Let me see if I can pull it up. I'm pretty sure my date had the lobster, shrimp, and grits, which was local cheesy grits, Edward Surrey sausage, heirloom tomatoes, shallots, lobster cream sauce. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. And he said it was absolutely delicious. So we had a great time at the restaurant Lily Pearl in Richmond, Virginia. Now, in addition, I had the opportunity to go to Charlotte. I'll talk about that in a little bit, but I went to Charlotte in October to visit an event for my nephew. And I went to Ruby Sunshine, which is a brunch spot. And so I had a Florentine omelet, coffee, biscuits, home fries, great little, I won't say little, but it's a smaller restaurant, but a very nice brunch spot. The wait was an hour and a half. We just lucked up and took seats at the sort of bar area there. And we were able to get right in. It was just like perfect time, and God was on our side. We didn't have to do an hour and a half wait, but the food there was great. So if you're ever in the Charlotte area and you're looking for a brunch spot, check out Ruby Sunshine. Okay, and so for home, my finds or favorites or whatever, I haven't done much for my home in the month of October. I have been, enjoying my fall decor, my fall candles. I did purchase a mirror that I have yet to put up. It's a full-length mirror. Trying to find a spot for it that works, but I haven't found it yet, right? Purchased it and then got to find a spot for it, but so that I can use it for my outfits of the day and really have a space. So I'm really working on that, but I did purchase a full-length mirror. And I've just been enjoying my fall candles and decor, but I haven't done anything specific to my home. However, there is going to be some upgrades to the bedroom for the month of November, so stay tuned for that. Okay, so for the next category, it's books. You guys know I read with my two nieces. Of course, we all read other books as well. But the book that we read for the month of October is called The Perfect Marriage by Geneva Rose. And I'll read a synopsis on it, and then I'll tell you my feedback on it. So The Perfect Marriage is a psychological thriller. It tells the story of married couple Sarah and Adam Morgan. When Adam is charged with his mistress's murder, Sarah, a top criminal defense attorney, defends him. So just imagine your spouse having an affair and you finding out through the death of his mistress, and you as a criminal defense attorney, being his attorney, right? Very, very interesting, very, very interesting book. A lot of character development there. I do feel like, and I agree, and in agreement with my two nieces, that the ending of the book was sort of far off, and also it was kind of like it sped up, right? Like, so like, have you ever read a book where like it seemed like the story is drawn out, and then instead of like full development of the story, it's all compacted in someone just saying what happened versus the story being written, that story being written out? So that was our agreement in terms of the book. I'll say on a scale of 1 to 5, I'll give it a 3. I'll give it a 3. And that's that. The Perfect Marriage by Geneva. Let me see if I'm saying her name right. Yeah, Geneva Rose. All right, so let's talk about some memorable moments for the month of October. And October was a good month. Had a great, great time, full of fun, family, and friends, right? And so early in the month, I kicked off time with my 2 grandsons. Now I have 1 grandson, but the my other quote unquote grandson is actually my son's godson. Okay, so to me, they both call me Gigi, and those are my grandbabies, right? 12 and 5. And so I took them to the pumpkin patch, and we had a time. Okay, let me tell you, we had a time. They played, they jumped, they ran, they picked their pumpkins, and we just had a great afternoon. I took them on a Sunday, and we spent several hours out there. The weather was perfect, and it's just so nice to get out in the fall weather. Now, first of all, y'all know I am a summer girl, but I was able to enjoy the fall festivities, put my big girl pants on. The weather was good though, so that was pretty easy. And we had a phenomenal time, and hopefully I can maybe put some pictures up somewhere here. But we had a great time. So in addition, I was able to take a trip to Charlotte for a couple of days. My nephew, who is my sister's son, who is 43, was inducted in his high school in that county's Sports Hall of Fame. And so I think I've said it here before, but my nephew has played for several NFL teams. Once he got out of college, he went to ECU. Graduated ECU, he got drafted by the Panthers, so he played with the Panthers, a little time with the Patriots. He played several years with the Giants, several years with the 49ers, and then he also went on to play for British Columbia before ending about a 10-year stretch career in the NFL. So his local county in North Carolina, where he went to high school, they inducted him in the County Hall of Fame, the Sports Hall of Fame for that particular county. And so I was able to go down there and get to see him, his family, and just celebrate such an amazing accomplishment. One of the things that I found amazing about this event, and I will say roughly about 10 people were inducted, 2 posthumously, so two inductees have already passed away, is that they all talked about their journey, and they talked about how pivotal individuals were in their lives. And some of the things that stuck out to them may have been sort of minimal to the people who did them. So for example, they talked about coaches. They talked about specific things coaches had said to them or done for them, or friends or family who spoke a word to them, or took them to a particular practice, or things of that nature. And so it was just so amazing, and how these individuals were really full of emotion. And I say that because I think that oftentimes in our journey of life, as we're parents, aunts, uncles, coaches, all the things, that sometimes we may feel overwhelmed, or we may feel that the seeds we're planting are landing on, dry dirt, right? But how really appreciative these individuals are to the time that we sow into our children's, our relatives, our friends, neighbors, students' lives. So keep sowing, keep planting seeds, because your good that you give to someone else does not go unnoticed. And maybe in that season, they may not say it, but I saw it in that event from these adults, bona fide adults, who really took heed to words and actions and deeds of other people. And they are very grateful for how those people impacted their lives in ways that may have seemed trivial to the people who did it. Does that make sense? So what an amazing event. I'm super proud of my nephew. I'll probably post a picture here somewhere of him. And it was a great event. Had an opportunity to, just spend time in Charlotte. Yeah, good times in Charlotte in October. Now this is really about what I learned in the month of October. And so unfortunately, I lost a dear friend in the month of October. I feel like I may have said this before, but nevertheless, my daughter Gabby, who is a junior in college now, has 4 core friends. They grew up together since second grade. They went to the same elementary school, but they went on to go to different high schools. And even when they were all in different high schools, they still stayed connected, right? And they all went off and are all in different colleges right now. They're all juniors. However, those elementary years and high school years bonded our families, right? Because we're all at the same events, we're all at the same sports, moms and dads, whether moms or dads are divorced or not, we all showed up for our kids. And it was such a blessing to have my daughter have a core group of friends that we all knew each other, right? And as our daughters got older, the moms, we developed our own friendships and relationships. So we're going out and having dinner, we're going out and doing things, right, together, forgetting these kids, right? And so unfortunately, in the month of October, my girlfriend Cherise, who is a graduate of Howard is a graduate of Howard University. She went to Howard's homecoming. She's originally from New York, and she went to Howard for its homecoming. And long story short, she passed away while at Howard. And so we had to attend her homegoing service and her funeral. And I will show you a picture of her. This is her from her funeral. From her funeral. And one of the things that this beautiful smile taught all of us who knew her was about living. This woman right here was full of energy. Her smile was infectious. Her work was infectious. Her living was infectious. She lived fully. Whenever we got together, she was always talking about what she was doing next. You know, she had recently taken up roller skating. She turned her garage into a roller skating rink. She's texting us in group chats, right? Telling us to come out and join her. We had just had a mom's dinner. I think it was June or July. And, you know, just kind of talking about our children and ourselves and where we are in life and all the things, right? But she lived life to the fullest. She traveled. She had, of course, I said she has one daughter who's the same age as my daughter, who's 20, in college, and her husband, right? And she did everything top tier. She did everything A1. And the message at her homegoing service was not only about her energy and her honesty and her integrity and her spirit of excellence, but the message was also to live. And that though her life was short, her life was full. And she lived a life full of quality, though she didn't have the years of quantity. And so what I learned, or was reiterated for me at the age of 55, I'm almost 56. She was 56, is to live and to not take one single moment or person that we love for granted. We don't know how long we're going to be here. We don't know how long our friends are going to be here. We don't know how long our loved ones are going to be here. And we have to enjoy each and every day. Every single day. The back of this program shows her roller skates, right? As I told you about roller skating. She was also a member of the Double Dutch Club that I'm a member of, and some of us showed out for her. We wore our Double Dutch tops and all the things in reference to her, in memory of her. But that is the lesson that I learned in the month of October. Don't take one moment for granted. Live your life. Tomorrow is not promised. All the things that you say you want to do, you want to achieve, places you want to go, go. Make provision to go. Act on those things that we want to do. Tell the people that we love them that we love them. Don't take one moment for granted. Forgive, forgive, forgive. You know, that's my mantra anyway. Forgive, let go, and live your life. So that is my lesson learned for the month of October. Cherise, my friend, rest in heaven. I know you're up there turning it up, roller skating all over heaven and doing all the things. And it's just been good to know you. And so as we have left the month of October, I'm just going to talk a little bit about a couple of my goals for the month of November, so I can come back and report in December. So at the forefront of my list this month is I am revising my first book, which is Suddenly Single. So I'm going to do a second edition of that book. And so I've started to work on that. And I'll give an update at the end of the month. But the goal is to have it released and published before year's end. So that is where I'm really working on that. And then in addition, this is my month for continuing education credits for my medical profession. And I kind of pushed it off to the last minute, so I have to do that, which is really like 24 hours worth of work. And so those are where my focus is going to be on those two major things for this month. And yeah, I'll come back and tell you all about it in the month of December. So there you have it, my monthly reflections for the month of October 2024. Hopefully you found something interesting, or actually that reminds you of how your month of October spent. And I just think it's a great way to sort of track our activity of life, if you will, and some of our goals, because the years just fly by. And I really, really enjoy doing these reflections. So listen, if you haven't already, make sure you like this video. If you're not a subscriber to my channel, please subscribe, right? And make sure you share this out and hit the notification button so you can get all future notifications of my uploads. Have a wonderful and blessed day, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.